So today is absolutely gorgeous day in Colorado. T-shirt weather, as you can tell. I think it's supposed to be around 60 today. I decided I got too much crap. I need to get rid of some stuff. So my Dodge Ram, it's a 97. I got to do some cleaning. It's really oily and dirty underneath here. It's got an oil leak from the vacuum pump on the motor, but I've got a new seal for the vacuum pump, so I'm gonna go ahead and I think let me try and change that seal so that I can get rid of all this oil leakage on the side of the motor. I need to give her an oil change, and I think I need to look into getting the stuff to rebuild the double cardan joint in the front drive shaft and get some stuff cleaned up. It's the clear coat's fading off the top and stuff like that, and it's got a busted windshield, but I don't think I'm looking for a whole lot of money for it. It's really not in horrible shape. I think I'll clear all my stuff out of the back of it, take the topper off of it and all that crap, because it served its purpose to me. When I used it, I was living in the back of it when I was working in the oil field in northern Colorado, because I didn't feel like paying for an apartment, since I'd never be there anyways if they sent me out to other places. So I could clean up the wheels, polish them, make them look a little better. I only ever mounted this one step on it. And of course, it's all jacked up, so it ain't the greatest, but that helped when I had the 39.5-inch tall tires on it, which it looks way better with 39.5 Super Swampers on it. But I don't really feel like paying $2,500 for a set of tires, since I don't go off-road and do a bunch of that stuff anymore. But these tires, they're a decent tire for ride around in the snow and mud around here and going down the highway. It just kind of makes the truck look like it skipped leg day. I've got a few dents and stuff. I've thought about, you know, scuffing it down, cleaning it up a little bit, get rid of this chrome crap on the edges. I don't like that. But clean it up, maybe fix a couple of dents with Bondo, smooth them out a bit. And I thought about maybe spraying some blue and silver back over it again, you know, make it look presentable again. But yeah, I'm thinking I can clean this whole thing up and then just sell it. Probably be the cheapest one on the market. It's a 97 2500 with the 5.9 Cummins in it. So yeah, I've been using it for storage, sitting in the yard and all this crap, so I'll clean all this stuff out. Thought about maybe taking the headliner out and recovering the headliner so it looks decent and good. And the dashboard's all busted up, but I've got a brand new dash top for it. And then the plastic behind the dashboard, I've got a new, like the plastic backer dashboard, because that one's got a bunch of stuff broken off of it. But it's not a bad truck. Served me well, and it's still a good truck. The reason I stopped driving it was because I didn't want to break that front drive shaft, and because it's wobbling, I'm not sure if it's done any damage to bearings and seals in the front side of that transfer case or not. So I gotta just look that over and make sure it's good to go. But mechanically, I think it's a pretty good truck. It's got some issues, some dings and stuff, but it's really not a bad truck. And I know they're desirable. I think it's got about 6 inches of lift on it. It's got a big old huge block, lift block back here on it and all that stuff. And of course, it's got the long arm suspension up front. Yeah, it's got some issues, but it's not horrible horrible. It does have a drop down ball hitch on it that always sticks like crazy. But yeah, so if you're looking for a 97 Ram 2500 with a 5.9 Cummins 12 valve motor that's in decent shape for a good price, hit me up, send me a message, and we'll talk. So I do have a Chinese turbo on it because I had the shaft completely came apart on the whole set that was on it, and the turbine wheel was down in the, I just pulled it out of the housing. But even though it's got this Chinese turbo on it, which by the way actually works pretty good, I only modified the turbo. I did not modify the exhaust on the truck, so a whole set will bolt right back on it, no problem, easy peasy. You know, I think I got some issues with batteries maybe, so I'll get her running and going. But I think from the sitting it's done. I might need to replace the fuel filter again, but this one's got the Hydro Boost brakes on it, which is nice. I don't have all that big stuff in my way like my dad's truck, and it stops pretty decent unless you run out of power steering fluid, then you kind of hosed. But it's not a bad truck, not bad at all. I mean, what, to 97 to 2001, it's what, 20 something years old now. 24 years old. But it's not bad. I don't have the two-piece, or the three-piece exhaust manifold. I mean, there's like, it's basically pretty much stock. I haven't tuned it up. I haven't tried to push more power out of it. It's pretty much bone stock. It was just meant to get me to and from and have a diesel engine and get pretty decent fuel economy. That's what I like about the 12 valve Cummins, or the Cummins in general, is so for some reason the straight six just seems to run smooth, have plenty of torque, and it gets pretty good fuel economy versus the Ford or the Chevy V8 diesels. I don't think they get as good a fuel economy as the Dodges, but it's been a good truck. So that one I'm going to sell so I can finance other things, get some stuff done. So today I'm going to be working on the fire turret a bit, I think. I think tomorrow my aftermarket box to delete the AC but keep the heater fan, the blower fan and stuff, I believe that's coming tomorrow. And I think my SFI flex plate is going to get here tomorrow. So I was thinking, I think what I'll do today is maybe try and clean up some of the oil from blowing the rods out of the motor. And the other thing I want to do is I want to try and change all these body mounts today on this guy and get that knocked out. I just want to do some things like that. I need to look into maybe getting a locking dipstick for the transmission, but I need to hook up a vacuum to the modulator, get the modulator adjusted on the transmission. I've got some things to do. Yep, got some stuff to do, but I do have the body mount bushings, the prothane or whatever it is, polyurethane bushings. I'm still looking. I have not found where I put the set of springs, valve springs, to put on the motor on the 408, but I've got some heavy duty trick flow push rods for this one. I did clean up, I filed and sanded and cleaned up the camshaft, the Brian Tooley Stage 3 camshaft. Yeah, I just been, I don't know, going on a manic escapade now since I was informed that I don't have a job now. So I think the body mounts on this one are going to be big issue. So I do have the Prothane kit and everything for all this stuff, you know. So I've got all that for the body mount for Camaro, Firebird, whatever. So I did order another set of these, but I think they're energy suspension maybe. They should be here, I don't know when, but since I have this set here, I figured I'd just throw it in on this guy. And then I'll get to all these other bushings and stuff at a later date on it. Maybe, maybe not. But because my body bushings are all falling out and everything else, I need to eliminate that flex as much as I can in the body. I'd like to put this on solid mounts like that Camaro. That Camaro has the Delalume bushings. You can see them in the front frame rails there for the radiator support. So that one's got subframe connectors and Delalume bushings and all that fancy jazz in there. But I'm just going to put the polyurethane in here. This one might be a fun one to run at race week or whatever, but you know, I thought about it. I was thinking about it because I didn't get my ticket for race week 1.0, Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0. It's just the whole mess with the website crashing, thinking it was getting hacked and all that, and just it just went so quick, boom. Like I was auto filling the blocks as fast as I could, what I couldn't just type in as fast as I could with 2 thumbs on my phone. And then when I went to autofill my credit card information and then hit the purchase, it just went into this like cycling, you know, endless thinking on the billing portion of their web page. And so I ran over to my computer and I autofilled all those boxes. And by the time I put in the credit card information and hit the, you know, purchase, said there was no tickets left. And so I kind of got hosed on that one. I think that by the time I had gotten to the autofill portion on my phone for the billing, you know, the card information, I think what happened was their website went into this, you know, like, there's no tickets left, they just sold out, and it was like, oh, what do I do, what do I do? So, but I figured out, I think I was one of the first few to figure out what was going on with the waiting list page, where they had a box that had the little red asterisk that had to be filled, but it didn't tell you what information needed to be in there. And I ended up, I started just plugging in like random stuff, and I'm like, well, I'll just plug in my email address, see if that, and then bam, it worked. So I've got a waiting list spot, and I think I'm probably like 32 or 33, somewhere around there on the wait list, I think, probably. So I'm just gonna put one together and then show up in Kansas, I guess, for race week, and hope that I get to race. So we'll see. I'm actually, because I don't know if I'm going to be racing or not, because I'm on the waiting list, I didn't get a ticket, I am actually considering, because I want to participate, I really do, and I want to be helpful, and I just want to be part of the group. I want to be part of the scene. I just want to be part of the car community. So what I asked them, I said, hey, if I pay for the drive week to just, you know, go around with everybody, I mean, you get some t-shirts, you get the priority access to the racetracks and all that stuff, you know. So I mean, it's kind of cool. But you're like, what do you get for $200? Like, that's ridiculous or whatever. But you know, I mean, I'm like, but even so, I asked them, I said, if I pay for the road week and it turns out that I can race on the waiting list, do I have to pay for the registration to race on top of the road week? And they said no, they just prorate the difference basically. And I said, okay, that's cool. But if I'm on the road week, am I allowed to help racers in an emergency or whatever? You know, if their car breaks down, can I run them for par? Or, you know, whatever. You know, can I drive 2-3 states away really quick to buddy's shop or whatever that they have that they need something from, like, I mean, really bad, like, oh man, you're saving my duff. You know, I think that would be freaking cool, helping people like that if I could. They said I could help, but I can only help one vehicle once over the week. You know, each vehicle, I can only help them once over the week. So I thought, you know, is it really in the spirit of race week if I'm like a rescue van? You know, I don't it's what fits in with the spirit of race week, right? But I thought, you know, if I was racing my van, what would I take with me? Because in case I could race the van, I would take, you know, I might take a spare transmission or a spare engine, probably my cherry picker if I needed to change an engine out, you know, just various things like that. Like what tools, what equipment would I take with me to last race week, to complete race week, if I took the van, if that was what I was going to race. And I thought, you know, if I do that, I can put the channel, you know, on the van. I could put, like, you know, Armchair Mechanics Network. And I thought maybe I'll make it I'll just call it the struggle bus, you know. And I thought, you know, I could put the 408 that I got from the machine shop, I could build that and stuff it in, take the 6-liter out, put the 408 in. And I could actually run some decent times in the van. I mean, it's a 1-ton van. You know, if I got a couple of slicks for the back and maybe a locker for the rear end, put the shift kit in the 4L80E, you know, I mean, it could be a ripper. I have the 1-ton struggle bus, you know. I put, like, you know, Armchair Mechanics Network. It's my $1,000 van, right? So I could put, like, Armchair Mechanics Work, the 1 kV struggle bus, you know, or something. I could make it cool. And so I thought, man, maybe I should take the 6-liter out of here, put the 408 in it, and maybe marry the Holley Terminator X from the Trans Am, from the Fire Turd, you know, marry it in here and then piggyback it, and then just run it for race week. And then if I can race, if I get to race, I race the van. If I don't get to race, I drive around and have fun with everybody, and maybe I can save somebody's duff with the struggle bus. You know, the struggle is real, right? So I'm thinking about it, clear that thing out and set it all up to be able to run the road week or race week, and help other racers out that need a ride on the struggle bus, you know, or whatever. Rides are earned, you know. I don't know. It's kind of a cool thing. I think it could happen. So that's a thought. That is most definitely a thought. But I do want this car running, so I do want to get the motor in it. Race week is still a fair ways off, and there's some other stuff going on, so I would like to get this thing running. And then I do want to clean out the Dodge truck and get it cleaned up a little bit so I can list it for sale, because getting money out of that would actually free up money that I could use on projects that I want to do, get finished and sold, and yeah, let's just start doing what I want to do. So, you know, I still have that Camaro to finish up there. I've got to set up something on the rear suspension for the shocks. So I was thinking about creating a strut bar support up underneath the pan on it, somewhere to give me a place to mount the shock absorbers to, because with the disc brake conversion on that to the Gen 4 Camaro Firebird aluminum rear disc brakes, it puts the way the shock mounts from the second gen to the fourth gen, one shock gets in the way of the disc brake. So I need to make a change there. I need to get a different front end under there. I need to get the front end from the Formula 400 or Formula Firebird that I cut up. I need to get that front subframe off so I can put it under this Camaro over here and get cracking on that one. But I mean, it's really not that far off either, and it was blasted down to the metal, had it sandblasted down, so it's ready to just start doing body work and build it up. And the body work on that one is really not that bad. There's not a whole lot to do on it. It doesn't have a bunch of rust like the Fire Turd, so that one would be a good candidate to sell to get more funds and not worry about having a job, just worry about getting projects done and then sold and do things and enjoy life the way I want to enjoy life. So anyways, that's what I'm working on, and my Rambletron is way too long already.